I'll do a warm-up hunt. But if he is to it. You gonna watch on PS4 or your phone? Alright. So I'll just tag him then. My videos. Yeah, you'll hear me through the stream as well. If you have your audio set to share. Should be under, settings. But, if I pull the stream up, I should be able to hear you. If you say something, let's see.
Okay, now it should work.
Alright.
No, I don't want to see trending. I want to see... no, I'll just go to the invite again. Easier this way. I'm going to open it in the YouTube app, so give me just a moment.
Alright.
Okay, I'm ready whenever.
Alright. My audio options like...
Oh, what? God damn it.
What?
My hair is so wet. Because I just got out of the shower and I did my hair and everything. It has to air dry. I can't use a towel.
Alright. Let's see. Alright. There's Jack. Yeah. Wow, 4 people watching.
I mean, to be fair, I'm one of
No,
the
it's
4,
3.
but...
I know.
Oh, who's the Simon?
That's Jack.
Jack's real name is Simon?
I don't know. Hey, PH. Should I start with... Because I didn't practice at all. I meant to practice, and then I spent forever customizing my character. Should I hop right into the hardest version of the hardest enemy? Or should I fight the weaker version of the hardest enemy and then do the hardest version?
Hi, PH. I'm only just now seeing that comment.
What do you think? You know what? I said I'd start with the hardest. I'm going to start with the hardest. It's holiday pack. Fran. I think I have music turned off. I'm not gonna be cocky and try a perilous challenge. Yeah, I didn't practice at all, so let's see how this goes. This is the first time I have played this game in almost 2 years. It might have been longer.
All data lines established. Communications running green.
That is loud.
Anything strange on your end?
Mission start.
Oh yeah, I have a very defensive build. As you can see, my health bar and my stamina bar are very big.
Better turn on my Oracle reserve.
So what's this first monster called?
This is the Crimson
Aragami.
Orochi.
Okay.
Oh god. The small screen size is weird with the field of view.
Wait, are you playing on the PlayStation? Like
Yeah,
you're PlayStation 4?
I'm on the PS4.
That hurts.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Great start.
Oh. Yep.
I'm sorry that
I gotta remember his attack patterns.
It's really odd hearing your audio from the party first and then in the video because it's a delay. So I'll hear you say something and then see what you're talking about like 10 seconds later.
feels so strong. Like nothing can stop me.
Blood Alpha, first time is
I forgot about that hit.
Blood Alpha, fall back and heal immediately.
Hurts.
Aragami activating.
I'm sorry that
I'm just getting floored.
Let you get yourself killed out there.
Isn't help I'm also trying to be way more aggressive than I should. Like, this is a monster you should be aggressive against, but I don't want this fight to take 20 minutes.
Right.
Which this fight very often does. Where'd he go?
The Abyss?
Get over here, damn it. It's also my pledge.
get ready.
Oh, what the? Oh. Oh, I'm invincible while picking my pledge.
Blood Alpha, resonance control system
What are
online.
the
Time to
pledges?
begin.
They buff my damage, but they also lower my health, which I forgot about.
Fall back and heal now.
Oh.
I'm sorry
Yeah,
that
that was just dumb on my part.
Resonance control system offline. Blood Alpha, you are in immediate
Alright,
danger.
I won't
Fall
start
back.
this high, the next one. We'll end with this one when I'm used to the controls again. But, I was about to say.
Monster design's cool.
Yeah. The monster designs in this game are cool. I love the monster designs in this game. Their AI is really simple for the most part. I say as I'm getting my ass kicked, but I also haven't fought this enemy, and this is the hardest one in the game. Like, I haven't fought them in, like, 2 years. I have fought them before. Oh yeah, can't block that one. It also doesn't help I don't remember how to use items. Oh, it says. I'm dead. Oh.
We just reached the 5-minute mark.
We're making good time.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
hear
fine.
Great danger. Get the team in there and pull them out.
What a great stream. This is what I get for aiming high. But anyway.
Oh god, I just looked at the timer. Comparison to Monster Hunter.
Huh? Oh, you mean the timer at the top?
Yeah.
What's a monster that I don't really have to think much about while I fight? What's wrong with Caligula? Whoops. Oh yeah, I also get to show you the dumbest feature of this game, which is how
Oh.
crazy you can make bullets. I'll get to demonstrate that here instead of actually fighting this guy. But the thing with this game is monster designs are good,
You are now weapons
and
free.
new monsters or Aragami can be challenging at first, but after you've fought them a little bit, like most of them have very linear and predictable attack patterns. That I just didn't dodge too soon. But things like Caligula seem really hard at first, but just they're not. Yeah, I can make the weapon bite him like this. Oh, you didn't see it because it was in him. And that was just me not
I
being
like
close
this monster
enough.
design too.
Yeah. Anyway. Most monsters, after fighting them just a little bit, become ridiculously easy just because how predictable they get. And that can get pretty dull for this game.
On my Oracle reserve.
Hold on. I'm trying to look this up.
Advantage.
Oh, this is great. I want a spot.
I can't let you have all the glory.
Hold on. I also think weapons in this game are weird. You've got Scythe, which is just ridiculously good. Like, there's not really anyone that would disagree with Scythe being the best weapon. They're not balanced very well. Movesets are really weird in this game. Somewhat like Longsword, I can't get the hang of it. It moves too much. Buster is like a worse feeling version of the Monster Hunter Greatsword. I must be using the wrong element. Maybe here.
Kate, I order you to fall back in now.
Here's one thing about this game. This game can be mindless fun, but in terms of balancing stuff, weapons aren't balanced very well. Some Aragami are so easy you don't have to think while fighting them, and others.
Enemy bond is now broken.
Yeah. Great swords in this game are really bad. Yeah, like they're they're hilariously bad. You notice weapons don't really have like impact in this; they just hit, and that goes the same for the Buster Sword. And the damage isn't even that great without extremely specific builds. And even then, like that's still suboptimal to just spin.
Blood Alpha. God Arc evoke rate is now at 300%. It's breaking away. Looks like it's after something.
No use trying to escape us.
Who's ready for a snack?
Devour!
And there's also like some monsters are fun to fight. Like I should have took this guy on solo, but I brought teammates so it'd be easier for me to think while fighting him. But some monsters, well, I guess he's dead. Some monsters are really fun to fight. The Hannibal and Caligula family, which is this guy, and the monsters or Aragami of a similar body type, they're all really fun to fight. I enjoy fighting all of them. They are my favorites by far, which is why I went to this guy right after losing to the Orochi.
Keep them away
But then there's a lot of just trash monsters. They're like,
What do you think?
they're either HP sponges that aren't very interesting to fight, or they're just glorified starter monsters. Like, they're like the equivalent of Yankatku. Like, imagine. It's like Yangaruga, but no differences between that and Katku. If that makes any sense.
I hope I can help, even a little. Remember, you need rest. May I ask you something?
All of these characters, are they like pre-made in the game, or do you kind of like hire them or something and like make them?
They're all
Fran,
pre-made that you'll get through
Yoshino,
playing.
Kate. Oh, okay.
Yoshino and Kate are post-game because they're dead.
Oh,
That's just,
There's
they're
a
just
movie I
dead
was hoping to-
characters. It's never really a mystery if they're dead. I don't care, Fran.
It's always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, sometimes your backup, which is like your operator at base that gives you stuff like you saw there. They're just bonus skills at the end. You have like a cutscene like that with them if you pick a bunch of their skills. I always use Fran because Fran's the first one you got, and Fran has access to all the best perks. So leveled her up, got all the good perks off her already anyway. Why not use her?
okay.
But I'm trying to think of one. It's like a glorified trash enemy. Where is Rakshasa Kangu? These these are a good one. I think this is a really good mission to show what I mean by a lot of enemies, the in-game being glorified trash enemies. Like Susanoo, it's really built up. Like, they build it up a lot. Like, oh, this is an Aragami that has eaten so many God Eaters that its hands even look like God Arcs.
God Eaters deployed.
Which is
Here to watch your
the
back.
God Arc is the weapon we use. And this is like a
Oh.
devour feature, which you'll see when the stream catches up. Like, its hands have even evolved to look like these.
Oh, okay.
But, Really, he's just a glorified Borg Camlin, which is a very early game beginner enemy. Is that him coming around the corner? No, it's the Kongu. And this is a really glaring example of what I mean. This is a Kongu, one of the earliest Aragami you fight, and they just stuck boost hammers on him so he can rocket propel. That's all it is. This is an end game enemy. And how did they make him tough? Not by giving him dangerous moves. They make most of his body armored, so he doesn't take much damage. Like you saw, like the Caligula was taking like 600 plus and like getting damage in the thousands, whereas this guy's taking like 37. Unless I hit the face.
We did it!
Aragami's bond is broken apart.
We've only just begun, guys. Slow and steady wins the race.
Aragami activating. The
I'm gonna be more
Aragami
careful
is
with my
breaking out its
stamina.
attack to feed.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Fall back and heal and
Yeah, it's like most Aragami is like part breaks like Monster Hunter. When you break the bond on a part, like his tail, you might see is kind of broken right now. It usually either weakens the spot or changes like what damage type that spot's weak to.
I'm coming to help.
There, I was just hit because the environment got in the way.
So much.
So, are they demons or what?
Are they what?
Like all these monsters you're fighting, are they supposed to be demons or are they just kinda... Are they man-made or...
So the story, like a brief summary of the story of not Monster Hunter. See, I was thinking of a better game for a moment there. A brief summary of the God Eater story and how Aragami came to be is one day these mysterious microorganisms they called oracle cells showed up, and they had some part of their evolution allowed them to take on the traits of whatever they devoured pretty much immediately.
looks like it's after some food.
And
Get away from me.
like most things, like most animals and stuff, they develop a preference for whatever the first thing they feed on is.
This is going great.
So like Kongus obviously fed on monkeys and such. But so it's kind of just one day they showed up and people were studying them until in remote parts of the world first, and then in more populated areas the oracle cells kept evolving, growing in size, and gathering more traits from other creatures until they become something that was ridiculously difficult to fight. And like, they have the advantage of you couldn't really kill them while they were small, because the way oracle cells work, they devour whatever they touch. So most weapons won't actually harm them. Like, they'll just devour the bullet. Because it's the cells themselves that are eating, not necessarily just the creature, even though you can see them eating here. But, so eventually they learned how to use oracle cells in weapons, which is why our weapons are able to damage them, and also why we can devour. This is basically an Aragami put in our weapons.
Good one.
Oh, okay.
They're also bonded to us, which is what those weird big bracelets on our arms are. And Lynn knows what happens if that bracelet breaks. Or at least he's part of what happens. He's turning into an Aragami in that form.
I see.
We just reached the 5-minute mark.
We're totally
And
fine.
in the end, you just turn into an Aragami, which what you turn into doesn't seem to have set thing. Like in the game, like in the monster descriptions, it's mentioned that it's thought that Susanoo is a God Eater turned Aragami, and that's why it has a taste for God Arcs, because it's made from a God Arc, like corruption from a God Arc.
Okay.
But Lindo turned into a corrosive Hannibal, which is from the same family as that or Caligula I was fighting. Oh yes, this is like hyped up in all the God Eater games as one of the hardest enemies, and this is just like nothing. I didn't even move to avoid that. That just missed.
I gotcha.
This is one of the aspects I don't like. Like, it's good monsters are good, but its bad monsters are bad. And a lot of those bad monsters are bad because they're beginning game enemies reskinned for end game. Look at this. I barely have to think about this fight. That's not even like just because I'm using Scythe. Like even Short Sword or another weapon like that has an easy time with this monster because he can't really hit under himself except for with Tail Swipe. It's super easy to block. Like literally if I die to this boss, it's just because I'm refusing to use health items. Also that. Devouring is supposed to be risky, because it takes so long. But the enemies do so little that, like, I almost landed that Devour. Like, just not even... I just walked up and did it and almost got it. Oh, hey, it got me. And then my teammate picks me up, so it doesn't matter. I've never watched Hunter x Hunter PH, by the way, so I don't know what Chimera ants are, but we'll assume yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of which, why haven't you watched Hunter x Hunter?
Because it's really long and nobody watches it with me, or nobody will watch it with me, and most things I won't watch unless somebody watches it with me.
Alright, I'll watch it with you. Although I'm hoping that by the time, like, we catch up, they continue it, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Depends if the creator of it ever finishes, playing Dragon Quest.
Also, just like, look at that tailspin when the stream catches up to you, Avery. I blocked it, was standing clearly in range of it, and it just didn't hit.
Huh.
Hitboxes in this game are really bad with some things. Also, when you get burst level 3, it's like the fight's pretty much over. Use any.
First level.
Yeah. First level you increase it by doing the charge devours, or your teammates firing Aragami bullets at you to increase your level. Which you get Aragami bullets by devouring. Like, look at that. This is an in-game enemy that the game acts like is one of the hardest, and it's just, what was that? I barely paid that boss attention. This game is also bad about This game is also really bad about the idea of,
Get ready for the next
to make a boss harder,
you get a
all you need to do is make their body more armored and increase their health more, and that's good enough to call it a day. There are a lot of enemies that do that in this game. There are also a lot of enemies that only last more than 30 seconds because they make pretty much everything you can reach armored. Like the Cereal family. They are the most boring fight, I would think. Or in my opinion, the Cereal family, which is like the butterfly hybrids, are the most boring fight. And the only reason they last a while is because they're always flying, except for after a couple of attacks, or if you knock them down with a sufficiently strong bullet.
Hmm.
And
There's a movie
their
I was hoping to
legs,
watch. Would you
waist,
like to join me?
and part of their body is armored, so you do like 10 damage when you hit it. So the only place you do good damage is their head, which is extremely difficult to hit while they're in the air.
I
So
feel
like,
kind of sick.
if you play melee only, they're just really annoying, and if you play like they plan for you to, and you use bullets to knock them out of the air, they're just a pointless enemy. They're useless. They'll rarely get to attack. And I don't like that design. Like, I get like, oh yeah, you should be rewarded for using the mechanics to your advantage, but I don't think it should be that easy. I don't remember when I did Blackjack, but I know this mission was hard. It's like, I don't know, you go, I mean, I hope. They're just,
Yeah.
some are way too annoying to fight normally, and then when you exploit the mechanic you're supposed to, they're so quick it's a pointless fight. Um, oh, I never finished the story on this. Hmm. See, I thought I'd finished all the story. That's just like a post-game thing.
Think you might do it during the stream?
Um, mm, I could, but I don't know. It's a boring one. This is also another like, I like this monster, but this monster is a very good example of lazy difficulty increase, and that they just took a Hannibal and doubled its speed.
Hmm.
And I mean the literal double.
Oh.
We're monitoring the enemy's oracle responses from here. You are clear to engage.
Mission start.
This enemy is hard though. I will give them that. Like, even his animations look weird because they just doubled the speed. Also that damage. Yeah, this monster is literally difficult for the same reason anything would be difficult if you double its speed.
Blood Alpha, I order you to fall back and heal now.
That hurts.
There's also that, like, it's really... That is the one thing this Aragami I can compliment it on. I did complain it's way too easy to just devour and not suffer for it. This monster is very difficult to devour against. Because he just, like... His animations are doubled, even like it, like, if it makes any sense, it feels like they doubled the speed of his recovery after an attack. Like, most Aragami don't attack, like, sequentially. It just kind of feels like there's a recovery, and it feels like even that goes by twice as fast on this monster. The only thing that's normal speed is that flinch, I think.
Blood Alpha,
Oh, hey, perfect guard by accident.
Aragami activating.
I don't like when this one activates because his damage goes really high, and like it's not as noticeable compared to the initial speed, but you might be able to see he is indeed going even faster.
Oh yeah. What? It feels a little cheap to do something like that. Instead of just adding more moves.
Yeah.
Stay on the ground. Good start. You haven't won the battle yet.
They're wide open.
Thankfully, they leave this normal duration. Ow. Ow. Also, that can hit multiple times, and if you're unlucky, it can stagger lock you. I don't like that just because that's ridiculous.
Blood Alpha.
And he
First
can
time
spam
is
it
ticking
sometimes,
down.
like that. I don't remember if I can get to level 3 burst by myself. I might need to use burst inducers.
Blood Alpha. Fall back and heal immediately.
Okay, that's one way to...
Blood Alpha. Fall back and heal immediately.
I'm gonna take a short break. Just need to heal up.
Gonna take a short break. the, he's literally on top of us. Also that, like, that clearly should have hit my shield, and it just didn't.
Aragami has fallen. Seize the advantage.
There's also, like, if you're used to Hannibal, like I am, I fight these things a lot, because like I said earlier, I adore this family of Aragami. They're just, like, this is... It doesn't, like... This speed doesn't really do anything. Like, okay, it's faster, but I know this moveset inside and out. This isn't gonna challenge me, this just shortens my openings a little. And then like that, sometimes you overestimate his speed, but that's about it. That's not even like a thing that's meant to happen, that's just a mistake on my part.
Blood Alpha. Burst time is ticking down.
What a weird time to get a phone call. Guess I'll answer that. I'm gonna use my headset for it.
Haven't won the battle yet.
There's so much power inside me now. Like I could slay all.
We're 5 minutes into this operation.
Excellent. We're right on track for a win.
And I'm being brought food.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I see somebody got bored of the stream. I'm down to 2. I would assume PH.
I don't... The number keeps going up and down for some reason, but they're still here.
Oh. But yeah, like, I'm sure you can see by how I'm not really having that much trouble with this guy. That, like, it's really, like, I'm not just trying to say it like, oh, I'm too good at this game. It's, like, really just, that's an actual complaint on my part, is, like, I love the Hannibal family. I want them to have a really hard one. This is the hardest it gets for that family, and it's just a speed boost. He has no different moves. Hi, PH. And that's just, that's disappointing. Like, don't get me wrong, this guy is hard
Blood Alpha.
the first time you fight him,
Heal now.
when you're not familiar with how fast he goes.
Need to heal up.
And, if you're not familiar with the Hannibal family and you struggle with them at all, he's gonna prey on that really hard. But I fight that family for fun. And this just doesn't do anything, in my opinion. Well, I died trying to find the fast, or the good healing.
Blood Alpha. Your wounds
Hold
are
on, let me sort my carried items.
won't let you get
Because I
yourself
literally died because they aren't sorted.
No.
It's another thing. Like, I've got all kinds of weapons and stuff I could use to hold him down. I could use stun grenades to stop him during his big attacks and get a free opening. I could use bind traps, which are basically like this game's equivalent of shock traps. I could use toxic traps to poison him. Like, there's a lot I could use to make this fight easier. I don't even have to use that. It's just... I don't know. I like God Eater. I love God Eater. But some aspects of this game are really disappointing. Once you notice them, like, there's a lot of reskin monsters. Like, people joke about, haha, Monster Hunter, a lot of its roster is subspecies. And at least Monster Hunter is very straightforward. This is the same monster but a different color with a couple different moves. God Eater reskins a monster, calls it a different thing, and sometimes just doesn't even give it a new move. They just change the element it's weak to, or they don't change anything at all. That's really fast. That throws me off. I'm not used to seeing him use that. And even, like, another thing is, like, Monster Hunter's, like, doesn't, like, claim this is a new monster. It's just a subspecies of an existing monster. Like, it's new, and it just be another thing. Like, Caligula Xeno, or, yeah, that. I don't know what's different about him. I fought him so many... I don't know what's different. Let me know if the stream's still going. I got the internet connection quality is currently not sufficient. I think that's because my mom pulled up. She was bringing food. Speaking of which, there will be a short break in a moment. Because, I didn't expect to be brought food.
Right now it seems to be fine at the moment.
Also, gun has bad dashes. And if you do like that and you accidentally switch to gun when you're trying to shield, just rest in peace.
We're in immediate danger. Fall back.
I might lose this just because I'm distracted by the food. I don't think he has much health left. I don't have scan, so I can't see his health.
Aragami.
But I am familiar enough with the Hannibal family and most of his body's weak spots. So I'm fairly confident in saying...
Wait, how do you know you're close to losing? The timer still has 30 minutes left.
how many times I've died?
Oh, how many lives do you have?
None left.
Oh.
Aragami is down. Enemy oracle response is growing unstable.
Here's one.
Blood Alpha. First time is ticking down.
Well, even then, PH, like, that's a difference at least. The, Azure Wrathful is staying in the air more, which, your comment cut off. I'll have to pull it up in a minute to see the full thing. But, I would assume there's not much more past that. I will give this Aragami some credit. He is ridiculous. Like, if you play Buster Sword, my condolences. Same for Boost Hammer. Like, I don't know how you can hit him with those weapons. In Short Sword, I was gonna say Short Sword because he moves around so fast. Like, your range, not being able to reach him all the time, probably sucks. But at the same time, Short Sword's very mobile. Like, you can jump and press triangle to dive and close the distance, and then you just keep attacking off the end of that dive.
Confirmed. Aragami is down. Keep up this pressure and bring it down.
Ah. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm back. I'm probably gonna be muted because my mom's still here, but I am back, and I'll continue playing. So, you guys watching aren't just bored looking at a pause screen. Sorry. She brought me Burger King, by the way. I already ate the Whopper. I did not want to keep you
Don't
guys
eat Burger
waiting.
King. It's bad.
Why? What's wrong with Burger King?
I don't remember. Somebody told me that it was bad, and they thought it was a good reason, but I don't remember what.
I need more substantiated reason than that. Anyway, muting.
Look, there were good reasons. It was something along the lines of like,
Alpha, fall back and heal immediately.
I'm gonna take a short break. Just need to heal up.
I don't remember anymore. Look, I'm not good at remembering things.
I might die for that.
Blood Alpha, I
Yep.
order you to fall back and heal now.
I can
No,
still fight.
I recovered.
I can't let everyone down.
No, I'm making mistakes. Should be fine.
Probably because they're thinking about food.
I still have the fries, I just ate the burger. Quit doing that. I can't hit you after that. Oh, yeah, he's low health. That's an indicator of when an Aragami's at low health, by the way. When they're about to attack and that, like, mist comes off of them and they stagger. They'll just fail to attack sometimes when they're weak.
Oh, okay.
Quit that. I wonder if he'll get up again. Also, I didn't even show you the coolest mechanic of a Hannibal. I'll show it on a different Hannibal type after this. I don't want to show it on this guy. Which is you might notice the prominent scales on its back. Those are like a seal. If you break those, Hannibals get a lot harder. I actually don't know if I'd be able to beat a Blitz Hannibal with that broken after not playing for so long. That's another
You get
benefit of
different
size.
attacks, or what?
It gets different attacks than that, and those attacks hurt.
Time's up.
That's another benefit of Scythe against Hannibals. It doesn't reach that high.
Operation complete. Good work.
Mission clear. Yay!
I wonder if TF and PH stayed. I hope they weren't bored staring at that pause screen.
Come on home and get
I'm
ready
sure
for
they
the
did
next
something else while
deployment.
they were waiting.
Just kidding. You get a break first.
I have fries. I think breaking his seal gives a decent chance. Well, not a decent chance. I think breaking his seal gives a chance, probably just as low as every other, but gives a chance at his rare drop.
Good work. You all did very well.
It's not really meant to be a
Well, moving on.
I'm a
All
tongue.
right, let's try this then. I'll handle
It's
it.
not really meant to be a good
Remember,
source of
you need
rewards
rest.
as much as it is just one of those things you have to be careful about. Christ, I bit my tongue hard. S plus. It's not
There's
bad.
a movie I was hoping to watch. Would you like to join me? It's always a pleasure to watch a good old-fashioned action film. Nothing serious, just
That the sound of me eating fries isn't annoying.
You're fine.
Hmm. another hand. Hmm. I'm trying to think of the unique enemies. I want to fight the Magatsu Kyuubi, but I don't know if there's a mission to fight it alone. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the fights that aren't boring.
Fine.
Ooh. Wait a minute. I want to show this mission, but I'm not fully confident I can do this one yet. I'll warm up first. There's only one here. That's a big problem, and he's a big problem if I'm not warmed up for him. I'll show this guy too. This is another example of reused enemies. You'll notice he looks an awful lot like another anime we fought.
I'm gonna mute myself for a bit of some
You're
things
now
I
in
need to take
position.
care of.
This is a solo mission, so
Alright.
be sure to take
I'm still
appropriate
gonna be here though.
precautions.
Mission start.
Yep. This is a reskinned version of the Chrome Gawain, which Orochi and Crimson Orochi are also reskins of. This guy has an annoying mechanic as an Arc Aberrant. He's got shields on his arm, and they pulsate after attacks, and they push you,
I think
or
the
like they
stream's
stagger
down,
you
by the way.
when they pulsate. Is it? It's just coming. fighting him. Now I'm just running in a circle around him. No, it's up for me.
That's weird, it kicked me out. I guess.
Aragami activated.
Well, I'll load it back up.
See, that was supposed to be a big attack, and I don't even know what that did.
Time is ticking down.
Oh, I understand now. He's got the infamous Nergy back hop that does damage.
Fall back and heal immediately.
Everybody's favorite.
I should fall back and heal.
Okay, I don't have burst inducers.
Not gonna take me down. Thanks for the fight.
Blood Alpha, I order you to fall back and heal now.
Thanks for the fight. Feel so strong, like nothing could stop me.
I don't know what I meant to do.
Blood Alpha, first time is ticking down.
Thanks for the fight.
Aragami activated. Confirmed, the Aragami is down.
Here's one.
Oh yeah, there's a lot like armor skills. In fact, I'm running a very defensive build right now. I'll show that after. Well, I'm running like a defensive burst-based DPS build.
The Aragami has fallen. Seize
So
the
like my
advantage.
damage gets a lot higher at first, especially at level 3.
Better turn on my Oracle reserve.
Just reached the 5-minute mark.
Excellent. We're right on track for a win.
Blood Alpha, first status is soon to expire.
Still not enough? Interesting.
You're wide open.
Now, surely.
Fire away.
Yep.
Amazing.
Look at that damage. It
Aragami's
was
bond is
10k.
broken apart.
By the way. That wasn't even like an optimal place to hit him.
Here's amazing.
The Aragami has fallen. Seize the advantage. Oracle response is dropping.
So much
Doing great.
Let's get ready.
Yeah, there's a massive lack of weight behind hits. Oh, I didn't even get to show off pledges.
I already called in the exfil. You were incredible out there.
No, there's blood all over my favorite outfit.
Also, a dumb
It was
mechanic that doesn't make
perfect for
sense.
God
For
Arcade.
whatever reason, you are
Hey,
invincible while you pick your
now that we have some
pledges.
extra time, dinner party.
Like, I don't know.
Roots and
I
a
feel
Tuck
like
by the
you
St. Luke's will
shouldn't
make
be
you a
invincible
super
while you're doing
special
that to make it more
double-sized
risky.
dinner. Sounds good.
I don't know.
Good work. You all did very well.
Oh, also, this ignore bond is the best support skill
All right,
in the
let's try
game,
this then.
hands down.
May I ask you something?
It's like
All right,
It's like if
let's try
Monster
this
Hunter
then.
gave you the option after quest, you get a chance to pick to just ignore part break requirements for drop chances. So like you wouldn't have to break the head or cut the tail and carve or whatever. You break the head in whatever other part for a chance for a ruby. That's basically what that's the equivalent of, like just making it so you don't have to break those.
Would you mind?
In fact,
I
that's
don't know.
exactly what that is.
I really liked it.
Yeah, it's a lot of easy chances for rare stuff. I'm gonna try a different weapon against a monster I'm familiar with. Uh, oh, this weapon. This weapon exists because they know that guns are broken, or more specifically, bullets are broken. So if you notice, this gun or this blade doesn't do any damage, none at all. If you look at its skills, all of its skills are related to increasing the damage bullets do, increasing how many oracle points you get, which is what you need to fire bullets, decreasing the cost of a bullet, and I don't remember what bullet lava is. Oh, bullet lava is gun attack and oracle absorption and burst. So even more oracle absorption when you're in burst, and even higher gun attack. This sword literally only here to smack the monster, get your oracle points up really fast, and switch to your gun and nuke the monster. On the one hand, I love that. On the other hand, it's really stupid. Like, I'll just show how dumb this is. Hard mission. Difficulty 15. Highest difficulty. Let's see. Or something with one hard monster. Isn't him. Nah, I don't want to do it against the Magatsu. Here, we'll just do the plains run red. Because it's an easy monster to nuke and show off. You'll see when I hit the Aragami with this sword. Like, it literally doesn't do damage.
You're now in position. This is a solo mission, so be sure to take appropriate precautions.
Better turn on. Mission start.
Man, look at all those zeros. Boom, 5,000. That was with the weak element. I don't remember what he's weak to, so let's test one by one. No, yeah, I wasn't kidding. Like, this sword literally doesn't do anything. This sword exists solely for the sake of bullets like Meteor. Alright, that one was weaker. Let's see. Try fire. They're very well aware that there are bullets in this game that can do around 40k damage. No effort.
Anomaly detected. Bias pulse is coming. Type
There we go.
changes.
That's the bullet.
Blood Alpha, I order you to fall back and heal now.
Also, the skill I'm using that makes it multiple times isn't actually that good. I just like it because it's flashy. So like these extra slashes would be single digit, but like the main slash itself would be usually double digit. Look at that, 19k. That's not even optimized. His chest isn't broken yet.
I have to.
If I did that when his chest was open or broken, that would be hitting 40k. That was a bad one. I don't know why that did 3k. Whee.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that was me being greedy. Also, look at how little that takes with Frugal. I got to fire that twice. I'll get to fire it like 4 more times at least.
No. Better turn on my Oracle reserve.
It's at the very end of the game, but it's still, it's not particularly difficult in terms of the parts it asks for. And like, just look at how strong these bullets are. Like, instead of toning bullets down, what you can do with them, they just said, ah, screw it, and they made a blade that literally takes away the melee aspect of this game, and it just tells you to go ham with your sword. And this isn't an optimized meteor. This is a meteor I free-handed based on my knowledge with the bullets and how they work. Optimized meteors, which you could probably find on the wiki, or like any FAQ site pretty much,
Got our tower at
would
level 3.
do
This
way
fight is
more.
yours. Blood Alpha, you are in
Oh
immediate
no,
danger.
I've
Fall
died.
back.
Look at that. I'm just moving.
Here's one. Here's one.
Also, it's really funny that one of my skills uses stamina to reduce the bullet cost of gunshots. But it doesn't matter, because Meteor hits me too. So, whatever. I run out of stamina. Meteor's just gonna flinch me out of it. Oh yeah, I'm not even in burst yet. That wasn't using the increased, like, during burst, or the increased damage. That's what I was missing.
There's so much power inside me now. Like I could slay all the Aragami
Blood
myself.
Alpha, burst status is soon to expire.
Oh,
Bop, bop. Oh, I don't know what that was. Alright. Oh well. I proved my point. It knew came enough because I wasn't playing optimally. Like, if I was playing optimally, I would have dropped down. I would have immediately used all of my Oracle ampules and then loaded them to get 9 bars on my gun. And then I'd have triggered burst. And I just would have unloaded into him. Like, here, I'll show you what that looks like. No, Tiak, trust me, you don't understand fully. I want to nuke something else. I want an excuse to nuke something before I play with a short sword. That's my true reason for this. Someone made of tissue paper when confronted with a gun. Alright, here, let's just take on Blackjack in a minute. I'm gonna rank teammates for this, just because, God, this mission's hard. I'm bringing the most infamous character to see if she does her thing that makes her infamous, which is Kanan is great healer. Oh, she's the best healer in the game by far. But she shoots you a lot with her normal bullets too. And while she can't damage you with that, she is using the type of gun that will flinch you really hard. So it's like that one hunter who brings pellet shot to every hunt. PH probably won't know that. Tiaki might. But,
The Aragami are all in their predicted positions. Can you confirm?
Mission
Oh.
commence.
I forgot to.
Transmitting Shield's new intel on the enemies.
Like heavy bowgun. Do I want to keep? Yeah, I'll keep going with this sword.
Better turn on my Oracle reserve.
Shield, I order you to fall back and heal now.
Go. Gotta buy us some time.
Shield, God Eater down. Please assist. Blood Alpha, I order you to fall back and heal now.
It hurts. Here's one. I'll go. There's so much power inside me now. Take it easy for a little bit. I can slay all the Aragami myself. Here's one. Let me open. Stay out of my line of fire.
Be advised, the Aragami in that region is particularly vicious. Enemy bond is now broken.
Oh wow.
Aragami activated.
Here's one. Amazing.
We can confirm enemy bond is now broken.
That's
Bet
guns.
you're feeling dizzy now. That was far better than expected.
And that was with me running out of burst in the middle.
The Aragami is breaking off its attack to feed.
Hey, don't run away from me. There's so much. Running out of ammo.
And he should be dead. Nope, not yet.
Cannon, fall back and heal immediately. Blood Alpha, first time coordinate data on the way for the hostile that just entered.
I got this power. Amazing.
Aragami neutralized. Well done.
Well done.
Oh, also I can just do this.
Here's one. Better turn on my Oracle reserve.
Already what? Already dead? Oh, you mean the next enemy spawn? This is one of the hardest enemies in the game, and they're gonna look like a joke.
Be aware. Aragami are trying
Okay.
to cut off the weakest.
Well played, game.
Feels so strong. Like nothing.
Yeah, obsessed with this. Oh wait, this is a point blank range one.
Hannah, God Eater down. Please assist.
Alright, Spark.
Blood Alpha, burst status is soon to expire.
Oh, also,
Shield, I
extra
order you to
thing.
fall back and heal.
You are invincible while flinching from Meteor.
Coming to help. Here's one.
We're 5 minutes into this operation.
Everyone good to pick up the pace? Wide open.
Oh, he hits the spike again now.
That should help, alright?
Fall back and heal. Here's one.
Blood Alpha, burst time is ticking down. Kate, all remaining God Eaters, be advised, they are in need of immediate assistance. The Aragami is breaking off its attack to feed.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Thanks for the
Be
fight.
aware, the Aragami are trying to cut off the wings to feed in the area.
Better turn on my Oracle reserve. Please, take it easy for a little bit.
Kate, all remaining God Eaters, be advised, they are in need of immediate assistance. Blood Alpha, fall back and heal immediately.
Amazing. I'm gonna take a short break. Just need to heal up. Maybe you should stay back. Tiny bit. I'm falling back to make a quick recovery.
Shield, all remaining God Eaters, be advised, they are in need of immediate assistance.
I need my level 3. I will die. If, like... Alright. Bought myself a little bit of time.
I'm coming to help.
Don't worry. Next time will be different. Be aware, the Aragami are trying to cut off the wings to feed in the area. Aragami activated.
I'm clean out of ammo.
The Aragami is breaking off its attack to feed.
No use trying to escape us.
Blood Alpha.
Also, if you notice on the mini-map it's kind of pulsating a bit, that means it's getting low health.
Unit in the area.
It'll start blinking really fast and it's like pretty much about to keel over.
No, really.
Be aware, the Aragami are trying to cut off the wings to feed in the area.
One of the hardest in the game.
Aragami activated.
Just behind Crimson Orochi, and it's
Blood Alpha. Burst time is ticking down.
Inside me now. Like I can see inside it. Gross.
We can confirm enemy bond is now broken.
We'll finish this in one strike. Wide open.
Mid-size hostile has appeared. I'll update your coordinates.
I'll take on the reinforcements. Perfect.
Aragami neutralized. Well done.
You're very impressive.
Blood Alpha. Burst time is ticking down. Mid-size hostile has appeared. I'll update your coordinates.
yep, Spark.
No. I'll engage any threat that comes across.
Aragami activated.
Be cautious.
Oh
We
no.
can confirm
I don't
Enemy
like that.
bond is now broken.
We've only just begun, guys. Slow and steady wins the race.
This is gonna be awful and amazing. Kanan! I've probably lost my verse.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Down at my mark. Now.
Nothing unusual to report.
Blood Alpha. First time is ticking down. All remaining guardians, be advised. We are in need of immediate assistance. It's breaking away. Looks like it's after some food.
They're clean. Run them down.
Blood Alpha. First time is ticking down. Aragami neutralized. Well done.
Well done. I'm falling back to my script. Not much longer.
Blood Alpha. First time is ticking down. Enemy on the ground.
You might say, let's cross the forest no return. Oh! Excited! Sever!
Scratch one Aragami. It's breaking away. Looks like it's after some.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Coordinate data on the way for the hostile that just entered.
I'll take out the reinforcements. We did it! Yes!
Aragami neutralized.
This guy, I don't think is that weak to bullets, so this might not go so great. Okay, that just didn't hit him.
Blood Alpha. Time is ticking down.
Just don't hit me.
There's so much power inside me now. This isn't like
Yeah.
All remaining guardians, be advised. They are in need of immediate assistance.
that was wonderful.
We can confirm enemy bond is now broken.
Are you alright?
Okay, that did hit him. I was about to say.
Here's one! There's
Blood Alpha. First status is vital.
You're wide open!
Oh yeah, I'm not using the gun again this
That's the
stream.
last one. We call that mission accomplished.
Just want to
That
show how
mission was
stupid they are.
Mission clear! Yay! Everyone did a fantastic job. So I was pretty awesome, right? I thought so. Keep a weather eye, everyone.
Good work, as always. We're ready to extract.
I forgot I could skip the return to base thing.
I'll handle it. May I ask you something? Remember, you need rest. There's a movie I was hoping.
My God, this character.
It's always a pleasure to watch a good old-fashioned...
Um, kind of. Every weapon has some base skills, but more importantly, they have base stats. Stats are what you look at for a weapon because the parts that actually matter is like you can use God Eater parts that you'll get from the end of missions, which are those things I keep getting skills on them. Like install skill here, and you can change the skills that are on a weapon. It's like there's all this. I could put any of these on my size. Short blade, long blade, buster, boost hammer. And there's guns. I can put any of these on my blast gun. The ones with the +1 next to them, like adding those increases the quote-unquote level of your weapon up to +30. But so God Eater is really a game where you can build your skill set for whatever you're aiming for. You're not really limited by the weapon, which I think is really nice. I can't remember what I'm trying to say. And any skill can be on these. There's no like limited thing. Like anything can be on those. And yes, Fox, really, I'm using your copy of God Eater. I'm showing it to Avery, who I think is still watching. She's trying to decide if she wants it. Ugh, I got so many of these. Oh, yeah, I gotta change my loadout. Yeah, every weapon can turn into a gun. It has a melee weapon form, which you can pick individually. It has a gun form, which you can pick individually. Each of the different guns have a different trait. It's like assault guns can burst fire some bullet types, and I don't think they use as much Oracle points. Whereas blast guns use more, but they can fire explosive stuff or things like meteors. And to make up for using more Oracle points, you might have noticed by now, you can store Oracle points for use later. This game's got neat mechanics, which I do like. Oh, a nice one-on-one. That is not a one-on-one. I might do a perilous challenge at some point.
The Aragami are all in their predicted positions. Can you confirm?
Mission start.
Wait. I forgot to equip my better version of this. Hold on. My mistake.
Hello, hello. This is Hibari Takeda, and I'll be your operator today. Alright, enough joking around.
Mission start.
I gotta get used to short sword again. Jesus, you're aggressive.
Aragami activating.
think you're going?
It's funny you point it out and then they do it again.
Enemy on the ground. Aragami activated.
Here's one. Amazing.
We can confirm enemy bond is now broken.
Amazing.
The Aragami's bond has broken apart. Blood Alpha, first time is ticking down. It's breaking away. Looks like it's after some food.
Hey, where do you think you're going? There's so much power inside me now. Like, let's get ready.
Blood Alpha, resonance control system activated. So much power.
All right, here we go. I'm sorry.
We have to shut it down. Resonance control system offline.
Let's get ready.
Blood Alpha, resonance control system activated. So much power.
All right, here we go.
Confirmed. Frame is purged. Keep it up.
We'll finish this in a flash.
Restraint frame purged. Quickly to the final one. Mission complete. Great job. Stand by for the extraction team.
If only there'd been more. I could have shown up on the new techniques. Hey, now that we have some extra time, dinner party.
I think I did all right today. What do you think?
Alright, just a moment. I'll be right back. Alrighty, my apologies. Ooh. Damn. my mom was leaving. I had to lock the door behind her. But yeah, I'm back. Since that went so well, I think I'm gonna do that again, just to show off the. Wait, mission active. Oh, these. Just to show off the perilous challenges, I'll do that. I'll even do it solo, even though I don't have to. Perilous challenge is basically just I don't know if it's a multiplier. Sometimes it really feels like a multiplier. But basically increasing perilous challenge increases health and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. But I want to see how trying a perilous challenge will go. Getting hit even once, definitely gonna hurt. But we'll see how it goes. You guys still enjoying the stream? I don't know if this is boring or not to watch. I think I already made my points.
And I'll be your operator today. Alright, enough joking around.
Mission start. Let's get ready.
Blood Alpha, resonance control system activated and online. Be careful out there.
Well,
Here we go.
I dodged the wrong way for that one.
Shut it down. Resonance control system offline.
Can I start it now?
Actually. Alright, so I can't cancel, I just have to. Just have to.
Fall back and heal immediately.
Alright. I'll do that in a minute, because I need to build up my rage anyway. I meant to cancel there. I didn't have the choice to. I should have just confirmed it on the one setting.
Hi.
But, yeah, you see the,
Oh, I'm sorry.
you see the damage buff. I wanted to pump it up.
We're in immediate danger. Fall back.
But if I play careful, I don't think this will be too big of a problem. Or I can instantly die. Alright, I got my ass kicked. Alright. Well, I did show it off. I guess I wouldn't have been showing it off very well if I had just fucking floored it without getting hit. We'll pretend that was intentional. But yeah, it's funny that you say that because it's probably the closest thing to armor in this game. Because, this game is very heavy on fan service. I want to do a survival that looks fun, but none of these look fun.
I'm back.
Hey yo. You missed me thinking, hey, this fight went well. Let me just pop the Perilous Challenge 99. I'm sure I can do it. No. I got my ass kicked. Oh yeah. A select few missions do give rewards for Perilous Challenge 99. There is a point to some of it. I don't remember
Oh, look,
inviting
it's
you.
Fox.
Is this a public
Hello,
party?
Fox.
Oh no, this is the same party from last night.
Hostility.
No, I was just confused how you
What?
got in here. Nirvana Trail's a good one. And I backed out. That's funny.
Let me guess,
So,
this is a God Eater demonstration, isn't it?
Yeah.
showing it for Avery.
How to revive insects suffering from heat exhaustion. For a bee, spoon of granulated sugar and water. Butterfly, bowl of sangria and a selection of tapas. And
Throw
a
'em in the
wasp,
pool.
a bottle of Jack Daniels, a line of cocaine, and the contents of your wallet.
What the fuck?
Fuck wasps. I hate them.
Alright, this is my. This will be the last one I do.
Yeah, but the moment you guys start playing it, you got my only damn physical copy.
I know!
Aragami are all in
I ain't
Of
been to
what?
your house yet to give it back. God Eater.
God Eater first.
Oh.
I'm using his physical copy to play on PS4. I have it on Vita.
Okay, gotcha. Why is there already porn of the stupid hamster from Overwatch?
What?
Can we not talk about that on the stream?
Oh yeah, I
Dude,
forgot this is on stream, isn't it?
dude.
Yeah.
It's whatever, I'm not showing anything.
Yeah, but you mentioned it, which is bad.
I've mentioned worse on stream.
Okay.
Go ahead, report me, I dare you, PH.
He'd be reporting me.
That's the problem.
Fine, report me on my YouTube.
Report me
The
out.
real question is how you're gonna find my YouTube.
I order you to fall back and heal now.
Don't know how, but there's always a way.
I could revive my teammates, but I don't want to have my health to pick them up. They're really
It's the
not
same
worth
monster
it.
from before.
Yeah, I'm doing a survival with a bunch of really difficult monsters in it.
Oh. So I think I might end up doing Neo on my choice. I don't know though. Neo's been interesting from what I've seen.
Must fall back.
But so far this is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But part of me kind of wants to wait to get into it until the third game comes out.
That's fair, but also,
Blood Alpha, God Eater down. Please
if you
assist.
did choose for Nia instead, like, this game usually goes on sale super, or like, not even on sale, this game's just super cheap pre-owned.
Secondary target. Take him down.
Damn, not now.
I was gonna say getting a physical copy might be what I need to do because online it's still $60.
Also, you know, I kind of like some of the monsters in this more. I don't know if I prefer this or Resurrection more. I like the Aragami selection in this for most of them more. But Resurrection has better mechanics for weapon and stuff. And Scythe isn't as stupidly broken. Resurrection's weird. Because it was God Eater, and then it was God Eater Burst, which was the expansion of the first one. And then there was God Eater 2. And then there was God Eater 2 Rage Burst, expansion of the second game. And then from that point, for some reason, we got God Eater Resurrection, which was an expansion of the first game. That just seems like a really weird order to me. Like, God Eater Resurrection was, what, 2016? Whereas, I think God Eater 2 Rage Burst was, like, 2012? I think.
That sounds about right. What in the hell?
Are you guys
What's
really
happened?
distracted with that Boro Boro over there? Damn it, Romeo.
You didn't ask for this, YouTube. Why would you do this to me? For whatever reason, it ended your stream for me, and then put me onto something for, Five Nights at Freddy's. So the first thing I heard was a scream suddenly when I looked away from the movie.
There's Romeo screaming in frustration because he got distracted with a Boro Boro while everybody else fights the Hannibal. off of me.
Robin, who is Seth from Under Night?
Seth?
Yeah.
What about him?
Won't let my
I
allies
just saw a picture, and I don't know if this is like
Blood Alpha. First status is
translation somebody edited or something. Like one of the win quotes that they, I guess, did was, and I sent it to you. Had it not been for the laws of this land, I would have slaughtered you. I know
Sounds
that's
like Seth.
the meme, but
I know. Sounds like something Seth would say. Quit spamming! Oh my god, I hope you saw that exchange.
let's see. Oh my god.
I was trying to heal,
Drooling
and then he
onto my
did the flame
foot.
plume. And then I would heal, and he'd use it again, and we just kept doing the exchange of me trying to heal and him using flame plume to prevent it. You are so...
Ox, did you see the shirts I ordered? I'll put the stickers on the back of my Switch now.
I am double dead. Deaded. Thanks, Wait. Okay, I guess I put Julius in his farmer boy outfit. I didn't even know he had that, but I guess he's in it.
Oh crap, I can't even cover the entire back of my Switch because of that stupid thing that comes out that you need to pull up for your micro SD card. Really.
Jesus, he just got comboed.
All remaining God Eaters, be advised, they are in need of immediate assistance.
Hold on, I'm coming for you.
I'm en route. Just hang in there.
Not bad, I suppose.
You know what I just noticed? Now that I'm dead, I'm actually listening to the voices.
Won't let you get yourself killed out there.
Gilbert's the same guy that voices Ragna.
Yep.
You
That is
still in
him.
this, okay? Please.
I've never actually listened to Gilbert after learning who Ragna is. In fact, this is the first time I've played this. Whoops. First time I've played
Wait,
this since
so-
learning who Ragna is.
When was the first time you learned who Ragna was?
Cross tag battle. Never. Or no, I've heard
Oh my
of
God.
Ragna before then, but I never heard his voice or cared about him until Cross Tag Battle. BlazBlue never really interested me. In fact, the only reason I got interested in Cross Tag Battle was because I was looking at the roster and it's like, huh, I wonder if there's any characters that like they'd be interesting to me, because that's usually what gets me into a fighting game. I just need to see one character I like. Then I saw Merkava from Under Night, which got me into both Cross Tag Battle
Fall back and heal.
and Under Night.
Don't overdo it. Let us handle it.
Here's one.
Oh yeah, camera's like your enemy in this game all the time. Camera's awful in areas like this.
won't let my allies fall.
I'm en route. Just hang in there.
Curious what they'll do for the third game, like improvements they'll make.
Romeo, your wounds are now at critical levels.
I'd assume that one's gonna be like PlayStation 4, not Vita this time.
Yeah, it's PlayStation 4. This is PS4
Well,
and Vita.
So then that could also mean it would like it should look nicer as well. And they'll have more like power behind it, I guess, overall.
Oh, comment about the camera, is it worse than PSP or MH? Yes.
Hold on, I'm coming for you.
Areas are a lot more claustrophobic. Which on PS4, I do have the benefit of have 2 analog sticks, so I can use that instead of the claw, but like playing this on PSP, you had to use the claw anyway, and this is how the camera moves with claw.
You're still in this, okay? Please. Not bad, I suppose. I've been found. Allow me to remove this
Wanna
threat.
let you
Yeah,
Target. You are weapons free.
I can do that.
yeah, camera in this game, really bad.
Wounds are now at critical levels.
Also, my teammates are like almost fully out of endurance. One of them's down to 22. We started with 100.
The Aragami is breaking off its attack to feed.
Does it keep spawning
How far is
Boroboros?
it?
10 minutes down at my mark.
I don't even think this guy's half dead yet. Romeo has 5 endurance left.
Romeo,
It's how bad the AI in this game is. I wasn't kidding. They're ridiculously stupid.
Come on.
That's why I should always bring healers, but for whatever reason I was like, I'll trust that damage AI will do their job.
orders are to search for the enemy.
I can do that.
And here we are. So many minutes into this quest later, he's not even half dead. At least I don't think.
Blood Alpha, fall back and heal immediately.
Just fall back and heal.
The
I'm
question,
gonna cut
when
it.
you kill that one in particular, or when all the monsters are dead?
When this one in particular dies, we'll go to the next one. Survival missions have multiple missions in a row.
Oh, I see. You at least get endurance back.
Nope. Somehow Julius, just a tank over here, he's still got 86 endurance.
Blood Alpha, fall back and heal.
Meanwhile, Romeo's got 5.
Be careful out there, right? Everyone comes home.
Gil, God Eater,
And Gil's got 17.
Blood Alpha, fall back and
I'm gonna end it after this one, whether
Still fight.
it ends with me completing the survival mission or dying on one of them.
taking that kind of punishment. Advising immediate retreat.
And switch to another
Maybe we
game.
can do some Destiny or something.
I'm fine with Destiny, or we could do
Actually-
cross tag battle.
Blood Alpha, fall back
Oh
and
god.
heal immediately.
We do cross tag battle and you stream that, everyone's gonna see how bad I am.
Also this, I hate this.
Fall back and heal immediately.
It's like Monster Hunter levels of fuck,
Can't let everyone down.
and you get surrounded.
Sorry, my mistake.
Also, Romeo is just dead now. And he will remain just dead.
Romeo and Julius. Is that intentional?
Julius is the main character. But, or not main character that's not your character.
The main side character?
Yes, and Romeo is just...
Be advised.
Romeo is just their attempt to make another Coda. Coda was cool.
Coming to you.
I hate Romeo.
Julius, moving to join up with Blood
So
Alpha.
in other words, they failed.
The first thing that comes to mind is Romeo and Juliet.
They're not a gay couple, if that's what you're thinking.
Commencing attack.
Julius,
I'm really disappointed now.
requesting immediate assistance.
I can do that.
Sometimes it feels like that's the only thing you think about regarding some of these characters, by how you get disappointed if they're not.
Look, here's the thing. I am a very simple woman.
Avery, there's more
I
than
have
a
certain needs
character.
that need to be met.
There's more to a character than who they want to fuck.
Blood Alpha, fall back and heal
Okay, yes. This is true.
Quit. I'm gonna die to that. No, I'm not.
Heal if you need it.
Thanks, Gil. Gil, I'm about to squander that. I'm trying so hard not to. Keeping up with this monster is so hard.
Seems like it.
Where the fuck is he? I couldn't even get my camera on him long enough to lock on.
Julius, I'm ordering you to fall back and heal now.
third game, they really need to fix the camera. I'm honestly not sure how to fix a camera in a game like this.
Not decide that making or not decide that making your monster faster is good enough. You know, PH, you joke about that, but I would be happy if we got a God Eater monster, like specifically a Hannibal in Monster Hunter.
Be cool. I mean, now that we're already doing something with Final Fantasy or Monster Hunter, it would also be cool.
Like if we got a regular Hannibal, not this bullshit flavor of Hannibal. But if we got a regular Hannibal, I'd be really happy to have that in Monster Hunter. Maybe not this, because I guess the fucking flame spears and weapons are too anime. But maybe like, I don't know. Well, no, you can't even use that excuse. How the fuck are behemoths not anime? They come down in a goddamn meteor, and he did in the trailer.
Sure.
Give me the fucking anime dragon who can summon spears from fire.
I mean, to be fair, there is a... Why am I forgetting the name of the monster all of a sudden?
I swear to fuck if these Boro Boro don't stop with the vortex. Stop! Stop! Oh my god! You fucking fish monsters! You guys see that bullshit?
Rip.
Coming to you.
Why is my Switch not on? There we go.
God damn it. Look at that fucking beautiful run cycle.
Oh god.
Oh my god. I did invite the Sharknado joke by saying that. Yeah, I guess I just wasn't allowed to live. Like, they just kept doing it. I was so focused on avoiding them, I didn't even see the fireball that Hannibal shot at me to even try to avoid it. I can't even work on killing those two, because like if I try to kill one of them, then the other one will come to help it. And Blitz Hannibal will just follow it. So like I can't get away from the target to kill these things.
Gil, all units be advised, they are now out of the fight.
Also, I don't understand why this thing has so much health still. He's not even half unless I'm just forgetting scan somewhere on my build.
Blood Alpha, I order you to fall back and heal now.
I can still fight. Can't let everyone down.
Julius, God Eater down. Please assist.
Oh god, multiple balls at once. I don't know about this. That might be a little more difficult.
God damn it, not this again. Stop!
All remaining God Eaters, be advised, they are in need of
All of my teammates are dead. I'm using a vastly inferior weapon. I don't know if I forgot scan or if this thing is very close to dead. They're just fucking getting spammed to death by those Boro Boro.
Rest in fucking pieces, I guess.
I don't think this is gonna end in a win.
Blood Alpha, your wounds are now at critical levels. I won't let you get yourself
Can if
killed
you
out there.
believe.
Now you've made me really mad.
I mean, think about what you would do against Arc-Tempered Kieran.
Okay, but Arc Temper Cure isn't near as that fast and doesn't have two Boro Boro summoning vortexes beneath my feet that are the size of the
Not
monster
yet.
I'm fighting. Getting my ass kicked. You know what? You fucking know what? Come here, you damn fish. I said I wasn't gonna use the gun, but fuck it, I'm nuking these two shits to hell.
On this mission.
Time is of no concern. Focus on the enemy at hand.
Alright, I don't have enough OP.
Oh crap, I forgot there's a time limit. Oh no. Oh, I made it. Oh. Made it with like half a second left.
Half a second?
Yeah, half a second. Is there a problem?
No, I was just wondering, like, what the hell are you doing?
What's in? Doing the Octo expansion levels.
Blood Alpha, I order you to fall back and heal.
Having fun completing it.
Don't let them get
Try it with this weapon.
Julius, I order you to fall back and heal now.
By the way, Fox. You know the hero blaster or whatever you can get during the main story?
It's breaking away.
How do you get that in multiplayer?
No, hey, he's almost dead.
Aragami activated. Blood Alpha, God Arc evoke rate is now at 300%.
Wait, what's almost dead? The big guy you've been fighting, or the?
Blood Alpha, God Eater
The big guy.
please assist.
He's doing his, like, death staggers.
Julius, God Eater down. Please assist.
Now I have to wait for that timer to be able to respawn. Rip. And now he's gonna go heal. He ran to the opposite side of the map. I have to go
Heal?
so far to hit him. Yeah, they heal by eating.
Oh.
He's right back. Please be running toward Julius.
Blood Alpha, you can't keep taking that kind of punishment.
Um,
Advising immediate retreat.
Guess who's back with a new strategy?
Julius, you can't keep taking that kind of punishment. Advising immediate retreat.
Not bad, I suppose.
It's all gonna be fine.
apparently it's available or unlocked by completing every mission with the Hero Blaster. It becomes available for purchase. I assume it says Ammo Knights, but I pull out the chat to see the bottom. Yeah, at Ammo Knights.
Sure.
Read that off the comment.
Oh, okay. I just noticed that got a response. Alright. Speaking of which, we should play this game at some point together. I keep forgetting to. You alright, Fox?
Yeah. I'm tired.
But you're at work or something?
Yeah. So after God Eater, what's next?
I don't know. It has to be you guys gonna do cross tag battle or the,
Oh, well, I'm down for cross tag battle.
Counting into this operation.
I'll watch you guys do cross tag battle if you play it.
Well, while he's doing the stream, I'm trying to take some time to practice.
They're in need of immediate assistance.
Is it over already?
Aragami activating.
Yeah, I'm getting my ass flattened now.
Kind of punishment. Advising immediate retreat.
This is rough, not just having to deal with him, but having to deal with him in mostly closed spaces with other monsters fighting too.
Mission accomplished.
Also, Jesus, it feels like he had so much health. I don't know if that's because this sword sucks compared to my scythe or what.
I'm so tired right now that I can't even sit down.
Oh my gosh, that's
Wait,
awful!
not even for
That
1
poor
second.
village just got buried in freezing snow!
Maybe I just fucking suck.
Good work. You all did very well. Good work. You all did very well.
Take some rest. You've earned it. Good day.
Somehow that deserved to be.
Crap!
That's it for me. Gilbert McLean requesting
Wow. We went from 100, I have 14, and Julius has 3. Julius could die once. I can barely even do that.
I'd like to talk to you if you can spare a moment. Thank you. Really.
Uh-oh.
Also, this game is stupidly anime. There's one point where a world-ending event happens, and we stop it by singing.
Oh god.
Fox knows what I'm
Sounds like,
talking about, I think.
Sharp Effie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we get an easy monster. It's like a break.
Aragami activating.
Watch yourself.
Yeah, actually, that'd be really funny if there was a fight like that.
On its way. ETA 1 minute. Sending the arrival point now.
Coming, right? Yeah, they're coming. Let's get ready.
On Alpha. Resonance control system activated.
Oh, that's bad.
Let's give it a try.
Here.
Great.
So I can only attack once.
Can't keep this up for much longer. Restraint frame has been purged. You're so cool. Large hostile in the combat zone. I'm sending the coordinates.
I could take them on.
Aragami activating. Blood Alpha. First status is fire.
so difficult.
Here's one.
The Aragami is breaking off their attack to me.
Best morale.
Blood Alpha, burst status is soon.
Thought you were taking his time to practice. I hear Sly.
Show no mercy.
I did when I turned my mic off.
Bring down. Blood Alpha, God Arc evoke rate is now at 300%. It's breaking away. Looks like it's after some food.
Best
I feel like this fight you're currently doing is much easier than the one you're doing before, mostly because there's not all the other nonsense monsters.
Not just that, Vajra's like a break from the hard stuff. Vajra's a pretty simple monster from early on in the game.
Aragami activated.
wonderful.
Scratch one Aragami.
I'm ready to get back in this battle.
Blood Alpha, burst time is ticking down.
What was the other monster? Oh, another Vajra. No, oh, okay. Uh, I don't like this one. So this is a Vajra, but every part of him is armored. Or at least much more armored. Also, he's got more annoying thunder. Still not super hard with the size, because I don't have to get as close. Like that attack sucks if you have to use a weapon that gets close.
My ammunition is run dry.
Here's one. Not gonna take me down.
Yay, I love the lightning that combos into itself.
I'm ready to get back in this battle.
Aragami activating.
Let's get ready. Preoccupied.
Julius, all units be advised, they are now out of the fight. Blood Alpha, your God Arc is now under resonance control. Good luck.
All right, here we go.
It's breaking away. Looks like
Here's
it's after
one. Hey, where do you think you're going?
confirmed. The frame is purged. Keep it up.
Now we're doing good.
The control system can't keep this up for much longer.
Hurry. Here's one.
The control system has been deactivated. Are you all right out there?
Wait, I'm for sure I had it. Can't
Blood
The
Alpha,
shockwave
God
of him
Arc
jumping
is
killed me. Tragic.
Blood Alpha, you are in immediate danger. Fall back.
It's not over. Not yet.
Aragami activating.
Careful.
It's probably death. No.
Weapon weapons have durability?
What'd you say?
The weapons have
Blood
durability?
Alpha,
No.
fall back and heal immediately.
Thank God.
Okay.
I had just end me. I'm not just gonna let him do it, but like, just end me. I have no endurance and no healing items, and I'm a hit from death. And all of my teammates are dead. There we go.
I'm sorry
Fall
that
back, everyone, fall back.
Tragic. I tried.
Yep.
I'll try to stream cross tag battle now to make up for that shitty final mission. So if anyone cares, I'll put that link up in the Discord.
Are you gonna... Oh yeah, I got you.
Did you
Invite me
decide?
again when you do. Hmm?
Huh?
Then
What were you
invite me
saying?
again when you do.
Alright. Did you decide between this and Neo? I know you said you were thinking more toward Neo.
As of right now, probably Neo. This looks fun, but I feel like I would have more fun if I waited for 3 for any possible improvements.
3 will have a lot of improvements because the bare minimum. It'll have the improvements to weapons that Resurrection had.
Hmm?
And I think
I don't...
Resurrection's good with the improvements to weapons,
Hmm?
but
Oh, okay.
Resurrection and the different styles with your Devour, because you can get styles in that. You can get Devours that dash forward to devour. You get ones that work in the air. You get ones that bite and then dash backwards to pull you to safety. You get ones that devour everything around you, so you can get multiple levels at once. But it's got a bunch of good gameplay improvements. But the monster roster isn't quite as good. Some of the really good
Okay.
monsters are in God Eater 2, but aren't in Resurrection because Resurrection just really kind of expands. Um, it just kind of expands upon what happened or what was already in Burst. What do you mean by that? Like exactly, PH? Just to make sure I'm on the same page. Oh. Is it spoilers if I play the cutscene where we save the world by singing? Does anyone care? Because I would
Ah,
play, like, I would gladly play it.
yeah.
Alright, if you care about spoilers, go away. Just want to play this cutscene for Avery, it's so dumb.
A lot of cutscenes.
Yep. I think this is the one. This is all this. Oh, this one. This is tragic. It's tragic. I'm gonna watch it. Shame you guys can't see. I'll low quality. The it's not right at the start of the video. Hey. Alright, I put it in the Discord.
Okay.
Or I'm typing. Alright, I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna restart my PlayStation. Uh, and then I'm gonna try to stream Cross Tag Battle. So if you guys pop over to watch that, then see you there.
Sounds like a plan.